everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How are you today? This is Tuesday at the time of filming. I think this will go up today, hopefully. YouTube and my internet have been very good lately about getting the uploading done quickly. At the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the camping season here, it was taking hours and hours, but it's been going much faster, so that's good news. I want to welcome you. As I said, this is Charm Grammy Crochet. If you're new to my channel is, it's crochet, yarn, those kind of things, yarn shops, and we travel. My husband and I live in an RV, and we're taking a big, long trip. It's going to be about 10 to 12 months, I think, starting in October when this campground closes. And we're in Ohio now. And we're going to kind of do the outside of the country and then come back through more of the middle of the country. So that's something to look forward to. I will go to local yarn stores along the way when we can find them in a nearer proximity. And I love to do that. And we will do some sightseeing. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And we'll bring you along for that if you like those kind of videos. There might be some camping videos too, like, about camping and living in a camper and that kind of thing. As we learn things about that for those RV people. This video today is a crochet video and a chat, because I chat. We are moving from the camper I'm sitting in, which is our larger camper, that we have now sold, and it's the end of the season. We have to empty this camper out and get everything put back into the small camper. Mostly everything that's in this camper came out of the small camper, because when we winterized, I don't leave a whole lot of stuff in the camper. Nothing liquid. Very little things that aren't attached, like the curtains, like cloth, because I don't want mice to come in and think they're making a home here, and give them warm materials for that. So we always take like all the linens, everything liquid has to come out. I do leave some like plastic stuff and glass stuff. So I'm sorting through that now, and that's what I've been doing this morning, going through some places. And do I want this? Do I not need this? And it's hard to know. It's just, I've gotten rid of so much stuff when we sold the house, and we were happy with what was in the camper, in the small camper. But I have duplicates of stuff and storage things, like food storage things. How many of those do I need to keep? I had food stored, like Tupperware, I bought new stuff in the new camper because most of the stuff that I used for food storage was already in the little camper, or in this camper, So anyway, but yesterday I did a lot of crocheting. We did other things. I moved stuff over there yesterday too. Our little camper, the travel camper, is across the street from where we are parked permanently here, and it'll go in this spot when this camper gets moved out in a few days, a week. I have a week to empty this and clean it and get it ready for the new owners. So I'm doing that, but at the same time, we still have to live here. So that's where I run into problems. But I wanted to show you the progress on my Frankenstein blanket. I thought I'm going to finish this skein of yarn last night, and I worked diligently until I fell asleep. And then I slept in the chair for 2 hours before I went to bed. And I have this much yarn left of a skein of the green. And this is the green yarn that I got from Dollar Tree. So, let's see, yeah. The neck is here at the very bottom. You can see I think you can see it's got like, I'm going to put the bolts there. And then this is the face area. And I have this much, which I'm hoping will get me to here. It may or may not. But I laid it out on the bed last night and measured the length of it. Well, the whole size of it. At the widest part here is 38 inches. Boggy Creek blankets are 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. So it's 35 or 38 inches wide. That's perfect. I'm really happy with that. But it is, prior to this row, 31 inches long. So one skein of the Dollar Tree yarn, which is called Yarnspirations Red Heart Classic 1 Value, it's a 4-weight, it's 100% acrylic. What I'm looking for is the yardage. I think it was 800 some yards on it. Of course, that's in where the writing is. On the plastic, I got to take it out anyway, so let's... it is 16 ounces. I mean, it's a 1 pound, but yeah, it has 867 yards. So I will need to get into the second one just to make it long enough. Because I still have like another at least 8 inches to go before I put the black on for his hair and eyes and mouth and all of that. So this is how big it is. And as I said, I wanted to give you an update to show you how far the 678 yards, 867 yards. Right numbers, wrong order. 867 yards of this for me, with doing double crochets only all the way. And my chocolate 6mm clover is gonna be a couple hundred, 3, 4, I don't know, yards short of being big enough for one blanket. Now, when I used and made my circle, my smiley face circle, that was, there's 1,092 yards in that. I believe it was 1,092 yards in that skein of Big Twist, the Big Twist Value Plus. And that I had a little bit extra of, more, maybe a couple hundred yards, I don't know. But I had extra of that in the circle skein, in the circle. But I don't have enough. So that couple hundred yards is making a big difference in this blanket. Like I said, I wasn't sure if one skein would be enough based on the fact that it is a smaller skein. And, excuse me, which is because I really don't care for this green a whole lot. I can't get my voice back. There we go. It's a little better anyway. I wasn't going to buy this color originally until Trish, Mama Swift, said, oh, it would make a great Frankenstein. I'm like, oh, that is perfect. Or a witch. So I went and bought 2, and then I thought, oh, gosh, I'll just get 3. Because I really like the color. And they had, the Dollar Tree had this color in a, this one is called, I'm sure it's going to tell me someplace. No, wait, free pattern. Oh, I don't know. It's green. Green pea. So this color is called green pea. Then it had an off-white cream and a papaya color, kind of a pumpkin-y, coral, pumpkin-y kind of color. Would make a really cute pumpkin. That color would. But I really liked the 3 colors together. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll take one skein and combine it with these others and make myself a sweater for fall. And someone asked, I made that chunky sweater for my granddaughter, and someone asked me to do a tutorial. And I can't do a tutorial. I don't have the setup for a tutorial. I didn't bring it with me because it's like big feet, and I didn't really have a place to keep it. So, but I can do a walkthrough on that. And I know people want to know how to make the smiley face blanket in the circle with that, you know, and that is really just make a big circle. And there's lots of tutorials out there on how to make a circle. Like start with 12 in the center. I do a magic ring. So you do 12. Then the next one you do 24. Then the next one, you know, so you increase in each stitch. Then the next time you always increase by 12. So the next one the next round you would do a single crochet and then an increase, a single and then an increase all the way around. So you have 36 stitches. Then the next round you do 2 crochets. I did double. I think I did half double in that blanket, but the circle is the same, but you do 2 stitches and then you do an increase, and you do 2 stitches and you do an increase, and then the next round you do 3 stitches and you do an increase. So on the increase stitch, the next round you increase on that stitch again, then that moves it over one and an increase on the next, on that increased stitch. Every round, if you do that, you'll create a nice flat circle. When it's 40 inches across, then then you've got the size you need and you can put the face on it. So that was easy. This blanket, I did that starting chain, and I did it to what was wide enough, but then I crocheted the next row and it got smaller and smaller. So I did a few rows of that, and this is double crochet, not half double, until it shrank down to about 32 inches. So then I added 10 stitches on each side, and just crochet a big square. You just crochet a big square for this, or rectangle, but I want it to be more of a square head, so that's what's going to happen. But it's got to be long enough in general all over. So doing the Frankenstein square, pretty easy, but I'm still going to count it as a smiley face, because he is going to have a smiley face. But I did pull out, I made that cat's meow blanket last year, and I used gray as the solid color. And so I have these like sections of bobbles, pretty much, of gray yarn. So that's what I'm going to use. I found these, and I'm going to use those to make the bolts. And then I have some black I pulled out. And cream for the eyes. But I don't know if I'm going to use the cream or not. He might just have big black eyes, but I pulled it out anyway, just in case, because, oh darn it, just dropped that bag on the floor. I pulled it out just because I have vacuum sealed all my yarns for moving into the other camper and storage that way, and I vacuum sealed them all. And I had to go through 3 different bags to find the yarns that I wanted. These were packed in with my Grafgan. All of these, actually, in with my Grafgan yarn for the Grafgan I'm making for Boggy Creek, which I haven't touched again for a week. I get it out and I work on it for like a night, and then I have to put it away for another week, and it's not getting done. But I thought, I'm really going to finish up this skein, and this thing will be about done. No. I crocheted on this thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to send it to Trish, because she is the crochet master, and it's not going as fast as I anticipated. Man, I thought I had a lot of yarn left last night when I sat down to crochet on it, so I did really crank out a lot of it, but what's that hair doing? I really did crochet like crank out a lot of yarn, but it's not long enough. I'm beginning to not like this blanket. You know, the color's not fun for me because I don't like the color, and it's very you know, very mindless crochet. But it's not real fun. Not yet. It'll get fun when I start doing the face and the hair, and I got to figure out that. But right now it's just kind of boring, and I'm really disappointed that I have this much yarn in it. It's not, you know. I thought, oh, I'll finish that skein, I'll be done. I had a goal. I'm gonna finish this tonight, and I'm gonna be ready to decorate it tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And then I measured it, and I'm like, so far short still. Like, how can I still be 31 inches? I've got to go, you know, at least 9 more inches of green. But that's okay. It'll get there. And it is really good crochet for in the car because it's very mindless at this point. You know, just double crochet back and forth. So that's pretty mindless. And I will work on that today when we're taking stuff and putting it into storage in a little bit. So I wanted to get this video up and going before we do that. I wanted to show you the other things I'm going to do. I'm not decided. If you watched the Boggy Creek Live last week, when the M&M blanket was unboxed, oh my God, blue M&M, it was so cute. And they did 3D eyes, and I kind of like that. So I'm debating, do I just want to do black circles and stuff them? Except I put all my fiberfill in the storage unit. That wasn't too bright. I should have saved out some fiberfill, I think. And I mean, not that we're not going back there 100 million times anyway, between now and when we leave. So I might grab myself a bag of fiberfill. I probably should. Because I do want to make and crochet little tiny alligators to give out to people that own Alliance campers when I see them. And I found a couple of tutorials online that I want to use. So I'll need fiberfill for that too. So it's probably what I need to do is get some fiberfill out. And I'm thinking I'll make the eyes bulge. What do you guys think? I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be cool. Maybe make... No. I was kind of thinking maybe make the bolts 3D as well. But then I think that'll be hard to sew. You know, to attach and not make it too heavy. So probably no. But the bolts will be easy. So I'm just going to do basically a similar thing, except I'm going to probably decrease. Start, you know, with something this big and then decrease it to like this big and then just sew it on. So that'll be easy. And I might do that today because I'm really getting tired of looking at this green. What else do I got for you? I'm trying to think. I don't think anything. That's what I've been working on. That's what I've been doing. That's my disappointment that my skein wasn't enough, and I was all excited to be doing more funner things on this blanket. But that's okay. I did finish the sweater for my granddaughter. The luck of the draw is almost done. I think I'm just going to finish that. I'm sorry, Trish and Jax. I'm just going to kind of color control and use the 2 colors that aren't doubled yet and finish that up. And then add a border so I can put it away. I want it to be done, completely done before I leave, before we start traveling. I want to have that blanket done and not have to deal with it. So I think this week I might just finish it up. And that's some of my goal is to get, you know, projects done before I leave. I did watch, or at least look at the tutorial for the rest of the crochet along that I'm doing, Juan's Wildflower Spring crochet along. And I'm on section week 5, and I have like a couple more rows to do of that, and then comes the border. But my blanket isn't big enough. I haven't used up enough of the yarn I want to use up. I won't get that done before we leave for sure. But I think I'm just going to repeat some of the rows. I've looked at and I've seen what he's done for the border section, and I think I can duplicate that and work it out to still kind of look like his border. You know, at least the very edge rows I can handle on my own. So I'm going to finish out section 5, and then I'm going to add more rows with this next skein of yarn, because I have a whole nother skein or cake of that yarn. That blanket is here, actually. I'll show it to you. You've seen it like 100 times. And I don't think I'm going to use the white unless I border it with the white. But this is the yarn I'm using, and it is the Big Twist Vista in the color Sunrise. And the blanket, I have a little bit left on the cake. This much left on this cake, and that's cake number 2. And then this is what the blanket is looking like. So I know I just showed it to you in the last video, and I haven't worked on it, but I haven't measured it, but it's probably 30 inches wide only, and so then it's a square, so it's 30 by 30 probably. It would be my guess, and that's just not big enough. I want it bigger, and I want to use all the yarn. So that's what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I am going to do. I am going to do, Laura from Mimi's Crochet and Farming has started, or will start, she's doing some kind of pick a pattern with your name in it, and you have to make it during the month of August, or October, starting October 1st. So I've been looking, and I can't find anything that I like that has my name, and Lynette is not an easy name. Not a lot of stuff. So there was a real cute doll that she, I think it was on Ravelry, a real cute little doll, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll make the doll, but I really don't want to make a doll. I've never made a doll. I mean, I've made amigurumis, but I've never made a doll, and I don't really think I want to. So that being said, I should put this back in storage. That being said, I don't think I'm going to make the doll. And I still need something to make. So I think I found a stitch pattern that I had, and I can't remember who it's by, and I can't remember what it's called, but you'll see it eventually. If you can't find a pattern that you like with your name in it, then you have to make your own pattern. And I found a stitch that I thought was really pretty. And I want to make a cowl for my daughter. So I think I might try to work this stitch pattern into a cowl for my daughter. And I will call it the Lynette cowl. And then that will be my project. So I'm going to use that red cotton yarn. So I'm kind of excited about getting started with that. And so I really kind of want to get the majority of this done and the luck of the draw done before October 1st, which is what, 2 days? Yeah, that ain't happening. But I got to get those done before I can start on that, because I can only have so many projects at a time, or else they get forgotten, like the ones I forgot about that I brought with me to finish when we moved, and I forgot about them, and they're still not finished. So there's that. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for you today. We'll do some more crochet and chat probably tomorrow. We'll see the progress that I've made on all of my things that I'm working on, including moving. But we'll get stuff done. So thanks so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and all of those things. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.